And there he is. So I saw him at the door not long ago. So, hi Scruffy. So I saw you were early, so I thought I'd come and feed you a little early. Well, actually, this is not actually that early. You've just been coming later and later. This is actually our usual dinner time. So I have special food for you tonight again. So it's a smorgasbord this time. So got your kibble plus your hearty cuts with real chicken and beef, and then I put some raw chicken skin in there, and there's a raw chicken bone in there, and then there's some cooked rotisserie chicken and some rotisserie chicken skin and a little bit of that ground pork that I don't think you like too much, but I still had more, so I wanted to mix it all in together, and I thought maybe you'd enjoy tonight's dinner because I'm still trying to get rid of everything out of the freezer. So, you ready? Ready to eat? So I'm going to get up and bring out your food, okay? So I got to clean out the freezer completely tonight and throw everything away. So I wanted to do dinner early, so I was glad to see you lined up early. Okay, I'm going to change your water bowl. Okay. Let's get your water. Okay. Got a glove and sit in the chair. You all ready? Probably should have waited because he didn't meow. So yeah, I don't have time to do the chair thing today. I was surprised to see you actually jumped on the chair waiting for me. So I'll have to work on that. Get you to stay up there. So I took a recovery day today. I actually was feeling kind of okay. I thought I maybe could have went for a bike ride, but woke up really early for no reason. Just couldn't sleep, and figure tomorrow I'm doing my intervals. So, and they've been, I think this is day 5, I think. Actually, no, I don't remember. I think, yeah, it's day 5, so I think I've done 2 days of running and 2 days of biking already. So I'm due for a recovery day. But yeah, I basically want to be strong for tomorrow so I can do the intervals, because I'd hate to do the intervals when I really need to be resting. So anyway, I was out on the side earlier doing pull-ups and resistance band stuff, and while in the middle of it, Scruffy comes in the sight. Comes from around the corner, so he's about 60 feet from me, so he's not anywhere close. But yeah, I think he was surprised to see me, because I think he was planning just to come down that side of the deck for who knows what. Maybe he's going to leave the premises. Maybe he's going to use his new sleeping spot for a nap. I haven't seen him a lot in the last week or so, so I think he's hanging out in new places during the day. But anyway, so he saw me, and then he basically stopped, and I think he wanted me to go away. So he didn't have the look of terror that he normally has when I see him in the day, so that was good. But yeah, I think he didn't want me there, so he was like waiting for me to leave. So he watched me for probably about 10-15 minutes, and then he decided to move on and go somewhere else, and I lost sight of him. So that's all I saw of Scruffy today. Actually, no, I take that back. This early afternoon, before I did my pull-ups, I did see him out under their big round table out in the sun. And yeah, he did come out. So it's the first time I've seen him actually visible, I think, in the day for over a week, maybe longer. And so yeah, he sat there for a while, and then he took a nap, and then he disappeared. And then I didn't see him again until he spied on me. Oh, you want this side, huh? What's the other side? So after my pull-ups, I went for a walk, did 2 laps, and yeah, my legs actually were starting to feel a little tired, so called it a day. So I don't want my intervals to suck tomorrow. So I finally powered down the freezer. So now that I've basically cleared out all the stuff that I thought was salvageable, all the remaining stuff I'm just going to trash. And then I keep a thermometer, a separate thermometer inside the refrigerator or freezer, just in case the reading is bad in the freezer, or actually in that freezer, can't even get a reading, so I just want to see what the temperature is. And I just discovered the thermometer was broken, so it was stuck at 38. So 38 is way too warm for a freezer, but I think I took that actually out of the refrigerator. So yeah, I don't actually know how long that thing's been busted. So yeah, I've been getting so I took that out of my refrigerator when the freezer broke, because I wanted to see what the temperature of the freezer was, because I knew it was no longer freezing anything. And I knew it was cold though, so I assumed it was some sort of refrigeration temperature. So I put the thermometer in there, and it's at 38 degrees. So I said, okay, well, it's a broken freezer, but it at least is still refrigeration temperature. So I can still refrigerate things and get a little bit more time, as everything will take longer to thaw out. So I have a little bit more time to give away things or rearrange the freezer or whatever, the working freezer, or the one in my refrigerator. But yeah, I just found out today that thermometer's busted. So I think it was closer to 50 degrees instead of 38. So I have another thermometer which I put in there, and because yeah, it did feel warmer than 38. So I was like, this feels kind of warm. You know, yeah, it feels a little too warm for 38. And then the ice bucket was starting. So I've been so I had to take out the ice maker in my regular freezer, or yeah, the refrigerator freezer where I make most of my ice. So I took that out so I could fit more food in there, and then I put it into the broken freezer just to try to keep things cooler longer. And yeah, all the ice melted today, and it was. I kind of was predicting it would last longer based on if it was actually like 38 degrees. But yeah, so that was another hint. Okay, Scruffy, you ready for your food? Still pretty friendly here. So I gave you a lot of food, and the bone's probably going to take you a while to eat, so we should give you your food now, because we're going to be here probably for a while. Okay? So let's get your food, okay? I'm going to put this down. Yeah, I don't think he likes the food as much because he's not letting me brush him. But I know he likes rotisserie chicken. And it has the cat food in there, so I don't know, maybe he's eating the pork first. There's actually a lot of food in there. Not as much as the other day, but I think this is a little more food than he normally gets. And then I know he likes chicken skin. It's almost done. You're jumpy tonight. I think it'd be nicer when I give you special food like this. Okay, I'm done. So I think you found the kibble. He's focusing on the kibble at the moment. So I hate wasting food or anything. So I have to give him a little bit of the stuff. I'm probably gonna have to throw out a lot of it. I still have chicken skin, chicken bone, a little bit of rotisserie chicken. I'm gonna throw out the pork. I don't think he likes that. We just saw him take the chunk of pork. I thought I shredded that up a little better with the fork, but yeah, I guess it came back together. Yeah, so he just kind of dropped that whole piece of pork back in. So, yeah, I put the balls in as a reflex. I realized with the bone in there, I probably don't need to balls in there. I might take the balls out if it gives me an opening. I'm actually worried he's going to take the bone and run away with it. So I mentioned probably about 3 weeks ago, I don't know, I forgot, lost track. So I mentioned a little while ago the stock market. Well, not so much the stock market, but the government policy is changing to basically make it harder to invest in certain foreign stocks. And of course, I already happen to own those stocks, and I should probably bought them within the last year, so less than last year. So with the government announcements that they are basically punishing the stocks, or punishing, or basically it's kind of like sanctions. Not exactly sanctions, but kind of like it. And it's not full. It's not really sanctions because these are our trading partners in theory. And these are big, giant companies, international companies. A lot of people own any international mutual funds or ETFs, probably own these companies. So anyway, more news came out, and so there's more bad news tanking the price, but there's still no certainty. So it's still unknown if people are going to be able to continue holding these stocks or if they're going to be forced to sell. So right now it's a waiting game, and a lot of people are panicking, and so there's a sell-off in the market. And I think the companies are sound fundamentally, so I want to hold on to them because I want to make money. But they're panicking. I'm not sure what to do. So normally, if everyone's panicking, the smart thing to do is to buy more. The problem is that you're assuming that it's just the company risk and it's going to come back. But this is political risk, where in the bad outcome case, even though the company's sound, people like me are forced to sell off their holdings because they'll make it illegal for people, or basically make it illegal for people to hold it. At least people in this country. Just because there are so many big giant institutions and rich people that own this, if I had to flip a coin, I would say it's unlikely they're going to force us to sell, just because the rich and powerful and connected probably own a lot of this, and so I don't think they're going to be forced to sell. However, crazier things have happened with our politicians. So there is a non-zero chance that they could do something evil and mean and force me to sell at a loss. And so, because the price is already kind of low, I'm feeling like I should be buying more. But again, there's that risk that if I'm forced to sell, it's going to go even lower. So I've been looking at trying to think of ways I can buy this cheap while still limiting my risk. So I'm going to have to buy options, which is what I've been learning for the past several months. Options are basically insurance policies. Up to this point, I've been mostly preoccupied or focused on selling options, basically trying to make money, kind of like an insurance company, sell insurance policies to other people, and make money selling the policies and hope nobody ever makes a claim. That's kind of the way I normally think. But in this case, coming from an investor buying side, I'm thinking if I actually do want to buy these, and I think they're kind of cheap right now because of all the panic, can I basically buy some insurance where I basically buy these things and then insure my losses? So if the government does rule, I gotta sell. Downside's limited. The flip side is I gotta pay the insurance premium, so I start off behind. And so I'm trying to figure out what's the most tactically smart thing I can do in this situation. So I don't exactly know when they're going to make more announcements about what the next phase is. I think I still probably have a little bit of time. I don't think they're going to make an announcement I think at the very earliest it'll be like a week. I'm going to guess it's going to be longer than that. So I got a little bit of time. So basically, my options are just buy the stock now, and then if it goes bad, take the big loss. But I don't really like that idea. But if they rule that they're not going to do anything and they're going to let people just continue holding their stuff, business as usual, then I kind of expect the price to go back up. So now I'm trying to figure out what kind of insurance option I want to buy or how I want to do it. So I could buy the stock now and then buy a protected put, or I could just buy a long haul option. And I think so. Protected put, I get to buy the stock now, and then I pay some money for the ability to sell my stock to somebody else if it goes below a certain price. So I can stick it to somebody else. Or I can just buy a call option. It basically says I have the right to buy it. Exercise this option. I have the right to buy the stock at this price within some time period. So I get to lock in the price now, but I got to pay a premium to somebody for that. If I'm correct that the price is going to bounce back, then I think that's the smarter move, because I basically don't have to put as much money down, and then I get the option to buy the stock later at the cheaper price. The problem with this strategy is if I'm wrong and it basically goes sideways or down, my option can expire worthless, and I basically just threw away a bunch of money. But that's kind of the insurance angle anyway. But yeah, I haven't figured out if a protected put or a long call is better. And then the duration, what's the other problem? So I actually don't know when the government's going to make their next announcement. So they could drag it out for a long time for all I know. So it could be months. It could be the end of the year. It could be next year. Who knows? And so the longer you pay for insurance, the more it costs. So I also need to figure out what the optimal time span is because I don't know how fast this is going to play out. And then if I wait till next year, the tax situation gets a little harder. So all this option stuff's new to me, so I don't quite understand all the particular tax rules. They're actually pretty complicated from what I can tell, just in general with options. And then moving things across years may make things even more difficult because then you got to figure out, okay, what year do you account for this option? I think the brokerage may help you with that. But, so that's my homework for the next week or so, figure out all these different technical things that will factor into my decision about what to do. So there's also the other possibility that even if the government does make an announcement, and even if it is a positive announcement, it's still actually possible the stock doesn't go up. With my luck, something else will happen, or just everyone's lost interest. Right now, the stock market, U.S. stock market in particular, is just kind of going ballistic. With all the money printing, everyone's just throwing it into the stock market because it just goes up. Particularly U.S. stocks. I actually think the bubble is forming. That's why I'm looking at foreign stocks because. So I can't. All I can do is see a bubble. I don't know when it's going to pop, so I can't time the bubble. And so I'd rather just stay away. And so I think all stocks are a little bubbly right now, but now with this quote-unquote sanctions going on, I think it's actually brought some of the stocks back down to below fair value, which is why I think there's a buying opportunity. Because so I'm the worst market timer, so I can't time the market. So all I can do is try to buy cheap, sell when it's expensive. And so I'm looking for cheap things, but yeah, very little is cheap right now. So the other game is so you buy $1 for $5, hoping you can sell for 10. I'm terrible at that game. So it's interesting that he kind of fished out the bone, but he didn't take it. Guess he wants the other food first. So we got through the pork, so I think mixed in with all the other stuff that he likes, I think, yeah, it's probably tolerable. So there's a pork, chicken, and beef tonight. Wow, that's all of it except fish. So yesterday I went for a run. 2 days ago, I went for a bike ride, and I tried to mix it up a little, and I ended up going up a path. I've actually only been up once before. It's a really steep climb, and it's actually only a precursor to a much steeper path. It's kind of weird. So you start on kind of a difficult path, and then there's an optional branch that goes into even a more difficult path. And it's difficult in two different ways. One, it's really steep, and two, it's a very technical trail. So it's very thin, rocky dirt trail. So you have to be a little bit skilled and have the right bike. You need the bone. You didn't eat the bone tonight. Wow. But you ate a lot of food, so. Oh well. I'll just throw the bone away. I guess that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.